Da steht dieser Kerl im Vorgarten, ruhig, beherrscht. Seine Frau ist verschwunden, seine 2 kleinen Töchter auch. Und doch wirkt er fast gelassen. Was, wenn genau dieser Moment der Anfang vom Ende ist? Was, wenn wir hier gerade einen Mörder sehen, der noch spielt, er wäre ein Ehemann? Dies ist der Anfang einer der verstörendsten wahren Verbrechen in der amerikanischen Geschichte.
Like when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like she wasn't here, kids weren't here. I have no idea like where they went. And right now it's you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like where did she go? Like once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know, what's going on? Like, if she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now, I don't even want to just, like, throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night, I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see those kids run in, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay, what's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
Right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are right in the front door.
How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay. What's Chris's phone number?
Chris's phone number is...
Hey Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Right. Well, my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her... If she's upstairs and can't respond.
Am Montag, den 13. August 2018, gegen 12:10 Uhr, wird Nicole Atkinson, enge Freundin von Shanann, panisch. Shanann hat ihre wichtige Schwangerschaftsuntersuchung verpasst und ist weder erreichbar noch zu Hause. Nicole fährt zur 2825 Saratoga Trail, Frederick, Colorado, und bemerkt, die Haustür bleibt verschlossen. Shananns Auto steht in der Garage. Ohne zu zögern ruft sie die Polizei an und fordert eine offizielle Vermisstenmeldung.
Their blanket they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
Takes off the hair.
No.
Rocking back and forth. He never moves his stuff in and out of the garage ever.
Right.
To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Does he? And that's pretty recently?
Yeah. He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. He's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did. He's very, he never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
Rund um 13:40 Uhr trifft die Polizei ein. Im Haus Shananns persönliche Dinge, wie Handy, Schlüssel und Medikamente. Doch keine Spur von ihr und den Töchtern. Ein Nachbar zeigt Überwachungsvideos. Shanann betritt das Haus um 1:48 Uhr in der Nacht. Aber Mehr sieht man nicht.
Like when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like she wasn't here, kids weren't here. I have no idea like where they went. And right now it's you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like where did she go? Like once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know, what's going on. Like if she's vanished, like I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now, I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night, I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see those kids running, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like if somebody has her, just please bring her back.
Am 14. August tritt Chris Watts vor die Kameras. Sein Gesicht ist ruhig, seine Stimme kontrolliert. Wenn ihr sie hört, bitte bringt sie zurück. Ich brauche meine Familie. Doch seine Körpersprache, steif, unberührt, erweckt sofort Misstrauen. Nicole sagt, er war so gefasst, es war so real.
Somebody saw something. Somebody knows where these kids are. And I keep saying kids, I'm sorry, the kids in your life. I know you're going through a lot, so we're not going to keep you here all night. Just tell me exactly what you remember, and I'll take notes about where we can go.
Okay. So this 1:48 a.m.
Let me switch chairs. Because when they come knocking, I said, no, when they come knocking, I got to use that key.
So that's when I got home. I opened the garage door and we went inside the house and looked everywhere. Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, nowhere to be found. Shanann's wedding ring's on her nightstand, her phone's still on the couch, her purse is still there, the medicine for the kids is still there, the car and the car seats are still there, and there's no sign of them anywhere.
Okay.
I was just hoping that, I left all the lights on in the house, I was hoping that I'd get a knock on the door. But
Yeah,
nothing happened. Yeah, but nothing happened.
What do you think happened?
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just decompressing.
What's going on, Steve?
Yeah, but after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, all the police cars, all the news, all the K9 units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But it's just, if someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew. Because there's no sign of anything like being disturbed, broken.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's the way I'm leaning now. At first I thought for real she was just decompressing somewhere. I thought she was safe, even though everything in the house was left there. But now it's just after the day with the news crews and everything, it feels more the other direction, and it's freaking me out. On that night, I told her, early that morning, I told her like the disconnection it's there, like it's not going away. Like the connection we had in the beginning, it's not there anymore. It's like I don't feel like the love we have is there anymore.
Okay.
And it's just like I don't feel like. If we want to stay together for the kids, I'm not sure if that's going to work. Like bringing
That's what you told him?
Yes.
Okay.
Like having another baby and bringing us into this relationship, do you think this is going to work with us being together? Or separation, I think, is going to be the best possible route for us. And that's when like all the crying and everything proceeded. And it was very hard just to talk about that. But I needed to do it face to face.
Okay.
And I needed to see her face, like while I did it. I couldn't text, phone, whatever. I needed to be face to face and be able to see her and know that she was going to be at least reciprocating back to me.
Oh, what did she say?
She said that she wants she wanted to kind of work on it,
Mm-hmm.
but if that's the way I was feeling, then she respects that.
Okay.
Am 15. August bringen Ermittler Chris zur Vernehmung. Er beginnt mit der Aussage: Ich weiß nicht, wo Sie sind. Doch ihm bleibt keine Zeit. Die Beamten sind vorbereitet. In den folgenden 2 Tagen decken sie seine Lügen auf.
Nicole was more worried.
Yeah, because like most of like if she doesn't text me, like I understand that.
Okay.
Like sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her
Okay.
direct sales group,
Okay.
that was very unorthodox.
Okay. So then they're at home. Police officers there. Then walk me through that.
So as we go through the house, we're
Do
all
you immediately go through the house?
like I open the garage door and I just go into the house. I'm looking, like I just go in the garage door and I'm looking.
Is the police officer saying, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute"?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
What's the vibe like?
I go up there, shake his hand, but I'm like opening the garage door at the same time.
Okay.
And then I go through, and then they're waiting at the front door. I go in, open that up, and then they come in.
Oh, so they didn't go in the garage door with you? Okay.
Well, they went in the garage. They didn't come in the way I did.
All right. So then everybody goes in.
I think that was at 4 o'clock. That's when, because the officer had went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything, and
Whose idea was that?
I think it was the officer because
Okay.
he just went over there. And then that's when the neighbor called him back over to show him he had some stuff from the other night.
Okay.
Just show him like whatever he had and that put motion on it.
Okay. 4 p.m. Police check neighbor security footage and question them as well. Okay. Have we talked about that? Is that where we're okay?
That's where we're at.
Anything else about that?
No, I mean it just shows Nicole dropping her off, but her not walking up, and it shows me loading my truck up about the time that I told you I left.
Okay. Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about? So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage, and the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay. So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends, is like, you know, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're gonna look at me, especially with the way everything looks. And it honestly just makes me sick to my stomach because this is something that I would never do.
Die Widersprüche wachsen. Öffentlich sagt er habe eine emotionale Unterhaltung mit ihr gehabt. Dann plötzlich meint er, Shanann sei mit den Töchtern bei einer Freundin. Doch er nennt keine Namen.
To make people believe that, just because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically look at me. But there's no, I would harm anybody in my family. At all. I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning, and then she goes, we have no idea where she is, or the kids. I promise you that I had nothing to do with any of that.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the absolute truth. Very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. I mean, you can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. I mean, like, if someone like yells at me, screams at me, I just take it and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where like none of that gets to that height. Because I am not that person. I've never been that person.
Okay. Would you take a polygraph?
Sure.
Okay. Let's take a little break. I'm going to come back in here because I have a lot more questions for you. How you feeling?
Looking at that picture, find him. Got it. Celeste, she's Rampage. She's always the one that's gung-ho. She's always the one that's just like, she's off. She's either go or sleep. She's always the one growling. She's always been, she's a tiger. Bella, she's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always, you okay? You okay? You fine? Okay. She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more, and Celeste is the one that favors Shanann more. I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago. Unbutton the back of it so I could get her pajamas on. She's like, no, Daddy, button. I got button. I got button. Bella loves those spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses. She was a girly girl. Safe, correct? When you find the guy.
When we find the guy, they're going to come home.
Life in prison would be that's what I would think with 2 kids that are involved.
What if he hurt them?
I'm not sure if like that penalty is even used. Is it used in Colorado? I'm not even sure. What is the death penalty?
Okay.
I mean, like, if these kids are not alive, like, there's nothing you could do to cope with that, to make me cope with that, if those kids are not okay.
Okay. Can we keep talking about some complicated things?
Sure.
Some things that are going to make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You've done very good in talking to me about this really hard conversation you guys had. Okay. Very good. That's sometimes hard. And I understand why sometimes someone in your position says, doesn't want to tell me about that. Because please go help me find my kids, and you don't need to know about my marriage argument, okay? So I got to say, you've done very good at that, and I need you to keep doing that. So I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity.
Sure.
Okay, tell me about it.
I have never cheated on my wife.
Okay.
And I fully suspect she has never done that to me.
Oh, okay. I see pictures of you from a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I see you standing before me now. Okay, you've gotten pretty fit.
Yes.
Okay. You can imagine when guys start cheating or want to cheat, that's what happens.
Yes.
So tell me about it.
I did not cheat on my wife.
Okay. What do I do to help you walk out of this room and not look like the person who's responsible?
You have to trust me. I had nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty, whatever has happened here. Because my love for these 2 girls and my wife, like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I've never wanted anything to happen to them. No matter if me and my wife separate or not, or divorce or anything, I never wish harm on anybody, on a human being in general.
Okay.
Like, just seeing that picture, like, I need them, I want them just to run through that front door and just grab me, or just barrel, just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head up, I don't care. The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never going to die. And they need, I want them back.
Okay.
I have to have them back.
When you walk out of this room, there's nothing I can say to a room full of police officers that's going to convince them that you have nothing to do with this.
I know.
You know what they think.
I know it, all that, yeah.
Here's a guy who didn't call 911, who woke his wife up at a ridiculous hour because he was so guilty about something that he had to get it off his chest and say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well. Okay, so what happened?
She told me she wanted me to wake her up before I left. That's why I didn't just wake her up, like, just to tell her this. Like, I woke her up. That's what she wanted to do, and we talked. Like, usually at 4 a.m. I wake up, I go down and work out. This day, I wanted to talk to her about this. I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline. That's everything. Like, you make kids, they come first before anything. Kids, spouse, family. That's what it's always been.
Nothing you've told me tonight makes sense. Nothing you've told me tonight feels like the truth. Can we start over?
Sure.
Tonight's been pretty intense, I can imagine. How are you feeling?
I slept like 2 hours last night, so I'm like running on empty right now. But
I know, I can see it. So why don't I do this? I'm sure you don't mind if we take a break for the night. And I'm sure that you are feeling some of the pressure from me. Okay? I'm going to commit to you that we're not going to stop working until we find them.
Okay.
Okay? One of two things is going to happen. You're going to pass out because you're so tired. Okay? And that's probably not going to be what happens. Your head's going to go race. Okay? So tonight when you lay down and your head starts racing, there's going to be things that come to your mind. Okay? This always happens. Always. It's very natural. You're going to say, I wonder why he asked me that. Okay? You're going to say, screw him. How dare he accuse me? Okay? You're going to say, I wonder if they thought of this. Okay? And then you're going to say, I probably should have told him something, or this, or that, okay? Those are the most common things. When those thoughts come to your head, I want you to call me. And those are beautiful kids. Those kids have a good dad, and I know it.
Let's just see the picture, it's on my phone.
Yeah.
It's a better one, but it's just, I'm sorry too, but it's,
Am 15. August legt Chris einen Lügendetektor-Test ab und fällt durch. Ermittler legten ihm dann die Wahrheit offen und er gibt nach. Seine erste Version? Blutige Fiktion. Er behauptet, Shanann habe die Kinder getötet. Er sei nur reingeraten.
Tammy, did you meet Tammy yesterday?
No,
okay.
no, I was
Tammy.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
So on this?
Yep, I know. I'll explain what that is here in a little bit, but you don't have to worry. It's not on or anything right now. It's not gonna buzz you or anything. Obviously, you're probably nervous about taking today's test. Honestly, I would think something is wrong with you if you weren't nervous about coming in here to take a polygraph. Even if people are like, I don't have anything to hide, it is nerve-wracking. And I have taken tons of polygraphs, obviously, in my training. I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been a polygrapher for about 5 years. I went to the best school in the country. So I want you to have confidence in the fact that you had nothing to do with this disappearance. Like, we're going to find that out today, okay? I have the best training that they offer in the United States. We use the most validated testing. That's the way I'm going to ask you the questions. So believe me, if you had nothing to do with this, I will be able to show them that today. There's actually only two ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. You know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance, okay?
But yeah, everything flourished from there. Like in 2011, I proposed to her over in Ocean Isle Beach. And she was just sitting there crying with a little eviction notice, and she recorded it. It was an amazing day just to see that. And then she left. I was there. Like, she had a midwife for this one, so like they actually had me like, you can stand here, and like, you know, a phone call or a text. I mean, her phone. I mean, they have her phone. Like, hopefully, maybe it's a number I don't know. Hopefully, it's like, you know, like a burner phone or some kind of like phone she bought, and she could just text me and call me like, hey, I'm okay. Something, or just get a knock on the door, and then the kids just run in. I miss like the kids like sitting at the dinner table and like having to tell them to eat their dinner, and like I miss them throwing their chicken nuggets at me. Like, I just want to find them. I want them to come home safe. Like, wherever they are, I hope they are safe. And I really hope they can just come home. It makes me feel like, all right, maybe somebody has her that's not keeping her safe, or something terrible has happened, and that's the nightmare.
Totally awful to think about, but what are ways, because I need to make sure that you know what I'm talking about, what are ways that you can make someone disappear?
I mean, like, if you're talking about like what I've seen like on the movies, or like how people, if you read about other people, I mean, you hire somebody.
Like a hitman?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm just being honest.
No, but that's what I want. That's what I want, because I want you to go through all of these scenarios in your head, because I want you to know for sure what I'm talking about when I say that, you know, asking you if you physically caused her disappearance.
Okay, like you'd hire somebody, or you'd have somebody you know that would do it. I mean, it's like, it's hard. It's a hard question.
I know this stuff.
It's a hard question to answer.
Right.
Because it had nothing to do with this disappearance.
Right.
So like, I don't even want to think about like, if you're asking me like how I would do it, like
anyone. Like, how would anyone cause someone else's disappearance?
I mean, you would. I said like,
you could cause someone's disappearance by murdering them. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So what different physical ways could you cause someone's disappearance through murder? You could stab someone, right?
Stab someone, shoot someone, hit them with a blunt object. What else is there? I mean, use a weapon like gun or a knife. I mean,
okay.
You could.
You could smother someone. You could strangle someone.
Hang someone. I mean, yeah, you can, all that kind of things. I mean, it's hard to even think about that kind of stuff right now.
Mm-hmm. So you could strangle someone, you could drown someone.
Yeah.
You could shock someone to death. You could burn someone alive. What other ways can you think of?
As far as like lure them into a trap, I guess.
What do you mean? What?
Like, you know, like have somebody waiting like around the corner and like, you know, hey,
sure.
They're in a coma.
Sure. So if I ask you that question on the test, Chris, are you going to have any issue with that? About you
Like-
physically causing
Going through every single one of
disappearance?
those?
Yeah, like that would be a way
Okay.
you could cause someone's disappearance.
Okay. No, I can definitely, like, I can pass. I mean,
Or you could murder them, you could kidnap them, you could take them to another country, you could, bury them in your backyard, you could do a million things
yeah,
as far as trying to conceal them,
yeah,
right? So that no one can find them.
yes.
Because at this point, she's gone. So when I ask you the question on the test, I'm not asking you about guilt. I'm not asking you about, did you make her feel so horrible that she ended up leaving? I'm saying that you were the one that physically caused her to disappear.
Okay.
Either by murder, kidnapping, all of those other things that
Okay.
we went through, okay?
You want me to list all those? Like,
No.
Oh,
You're just
okay.
going to say no to that question.
Okay.
Right. When I ask you if you physically caused Shanann's disappearance,
Okay.
your answer should be what?
No.
Right. So do you have any issues with that at all? And
No.
or have any question about what I would mean when I was
No,
would be
that's
asking
total,
that
like, I
question?
just, like, going through all those that, that's
Right.
a lot to really think about.
Right. But
Like,
that's,
trying to figure out, like, that was,
I'm going to have you take a bathroom break.
Thank
We've
you.
been in here quite a while. So you're going to be taking what's called a directed lie polygraph. So what that means is there are going to be questions on the test where I want you to lie. I know it seems kind of weird, but you're going to know which questions these are, and they're going to be easy to answer. They're all going to start with,
Wird vorab informiert. 3 Fragen. Hast du Shanann körperlich verschwinden lassen? Lügst du über den letzten Ort mit ihr? Weißt du, wo sie ist? Und er antwortet 3-mal mit Nein.
before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about? And you're going to say,
no,
because you're telling a
lie.
awesome. The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Did you write the number 1?
No,
Did you write the number 3?
no,
Did you write the number 5?
no.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. Okay, you can relax. How'd you feel?
This is the last time the polygrapher will have any correspondence with Chris before the real test begins. She gives him an initial compliment in a reassuring tone.
You did great.
That was,
You remembered to lie and everything. That was awesome.
This momentary boost in his confidence is then abruptly ripped away as he receives the following information.
So,
Yeah.
you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like, the second you tell a lie, like, they can tell, like, on your face that, because the second you lied to the number 3, like, I don't know if you heard me clicking, but I had, like, turned down the sensitivity because you were starting to go off the page. So, that is what I need to see as the polygrapher, because that tells me that you know it's wrong to tell a lie. And you're actually having a significant reaction when you lie, so that is awesome. So thank you for being a horrible liar. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We don't want to be good liars, so thank you for being a horrible liar. And that just shows me that, obviously on the test when they're asking, significant stuff about your wife, if you're lying to that, it's going to be even 10 times more amplified. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, more than you know. So.
Das Ergebnis ist eindeutig. Chris fällt durch. Sein Score liegt bei -18. Ein Wert unter -4 gilt als Lüge. Der Tiefpunkt unter den Testergebnissen.
That was awesome. And the coolest thing about this is right now, there's only one person in this room that knows what the truth is. And in about 5 minutes, there's going to be 2 of us. So that's the coolest part, okay? And then I can go share that with them out there. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Do you understand I will only ask you the questions we have discussed?
Yes.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions truthfully?
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018, have you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. All right, how'd you feel? Same with all of it?
I think it was the same through everything.
For ya. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I did forget part of it, didn't I? So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Okay.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. And I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Chris,
I know.
Chris, stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath.
Die Agentin sagt, es ist völlig klar, dass sie nicht ehrlich waren. Erschreckend knapp formuliert. Sie waren nicht ehrlich. Ein Wendepunkt in der Befragung.
I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today, and you knew I was going to find out because I told you that, and then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what, I just need to get this off my chest.
Everything that I've told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now, like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home, like.
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
Chris, Tammy and I are confused. Okay? And here's what we're confused about. It's very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag in the morning, and you know just what to put in there, and you know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident. Okay? You know what the clothes to put in there. You know what they have for breakfast. You know what they have for a snack and a dinner and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters. Okay? I know you love them. But you are here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay?
About your daughter.
I know. And this is very good.
I saw her, took my breath away, and I'd never thought in a million years that could happen.
I know.
I never felt that way about anybody in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not proud of it. She accused me of it. I denied it. I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was. I don't want to. I didn't hurt her.
You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller. I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody. I'm going to leave her out of it.
Okay.
Get back to your wife and your daughters.
Okay.
Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. you were asked about.
I was holding back from last night.
That's
When
not
you
why
talk-
you failed today.
That's not how that works.
Here's the challenge that we have. We knew about Nikki, and so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew, okay? And so that's why we didn't ask you, because we already knew the answer, okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife.
I am too.
This should have been the happiest time of your marriage. Okay? You and Shanann. This should have been the happiest time. She's making a little money. She's making good money. You're making great money. You both have a job. You have beautiful kids. You have a beautiful house. You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people. Okay? And on top of that, you look pretty good now. You're pretty fit. Okay? This should have been a time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive. Okay? And I believe that Shanann's the reason none of that happened.
This is called the how and why solution, a technique that allows the suspect to admit a lesser act and blame the victims, while at the same time minimizing the crime and motivations of his actions.
I believe that she's a controlling person. Maybe doesn't listen to you as much as she should. I think that she can do whatever she wants and you can't. Okay? I think if you were to go to a restaurant, she would order whatever the hell she wants. And as soon as you order a nice steak, she says, whoa, buddy. That's because you're a good person. And I think that she started on the path to leave the marriage. Okay? It's ironic that we're talking about you and Nikki. I think that she was the one who started on that path first. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have thought about
Okay. And the other thing I think is interesting is, even though she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love. Okay. And that's the reason why we want to give you an opportunity today to just help us find them. Okay. Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help you. Okay. You're lying to him. You're lied to everyone you talk to.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here. Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around.
Er weicht Körpersprache aus, kichert fast vor sich hin, als die Agentin ihn bittet, Wege zu nennen, wie jemand verschwinden könnte. Dann bricht er schließlich und gesteht, ich habe sie betrogen, ich bin kein guter Mann. Die Agentin fragt wieder, sind Sie sicher, dass Sie nichts mit ihrem Verschwinden zu tun haben? Chris, leise, verwirrt, sagt, ich habe sie betrogen. Ich bereue es. Sie war schwanger.
Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds and I start to go panic. Panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do any of this because I haven't shed a tear. You get
no, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't look into that like I don't love my kids.
Well, tell me,
I love my wife.
explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her.
Yeah.
But you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls
I'm hoping they're still around somewhere. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
In the next
something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known because they didn't leave the house. Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
They were there.
The only way they could have left is in your truck.
Did Shanann do something?
Something happened in the house that you know about. We know that something happened to all three of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanann.
Chris, you gotta tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls. Look at them.
I know. Before you came in, I was watching videos.
We have no doubt you love these girls with all of your heart. I have no doubt. But we make mistakes.
That's okay.
It's what we do with those mistakes that make us who we are.
Chris, it seems like you're thinking about it right now. What are you thinking about?
She couldn't have.
I feel like you cleaned up for her. I feel like that's the type of guy that you are.
Chris, this is a weight that's going to be on you for the rest of your life until we resolve it tonight. Unless we can talk about this more tonight, this is going to follow you forever. I promise you, when you start talking to us, you will feel better.
Chris, we're giving you a lifeline right now. You need to take it. You need to reach out and take it. Chris, you took them out of the house with their blankets and their animals. And that's because you cared. That's what a caring dad does. And you either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake. And I mean, I want to believe that maybe Shanann did it and you felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad. That's what I want to believe. But I don't know, you're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you do that to all three of them?
I
Like,
did not do anything to these kids. Not do anything.
what did Shanann do to them? Tell us, Chris. Chicks are crazy.
Can I talk to my dad or something?
Absolutely.
Come.
Do you want to bring him in here?
No, I just need to talk to my dad. Like, he flew across the country.
Hey, Chris, how about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
Never.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay.
Später am Tag lässt Chris seinen Vater ins Verhör holen. Ein psychologisch kalkulierter Schritt der Ermittler.
Do you want to bring him in here?
No, I just need to talk to my dad. Like, he flew across the country.
Hey, Chris, how about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
Never.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay. Hey, Chris, we're going to let you have however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You gonna leave us in there or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us what's going on with anything, or?
And it's, polygraph. Failed it. Yeah, because there's
Too much emotions.
it's
Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on, or what happened, or anything? If you know anything about
when we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional and told her about separation and everything like that.
it?
Vater und Sohn sitzen sich gegenüber. Chris beginnt zu weinen. Er erzählt Ronnie, sie war blau. Sie hat aufgehört zu atmen. Ich habe sie erwürgt. Ich habe sie getötet. Und auch die Kinder. Zunächst sagte Shanann habe ihre Kinder getötet. Ein verzweifelter Versuch, Schuld umzulenken.
protect her. You don't want to protect her. I don't know what else to say. Huh? She hurt him? Yeah. And well, no, I doubt not hurt her. You hurt her. One, just too smelly. Or choking. I didn't hear anything. When I was downstairs, they came back up. They were gone. Talking about separation and everything about she lost. I don't know, like, what else to say. Like, I freaked out. Those are my kids. I heard like a little commotion upstairs, but I didn't think anything of it. Mm-hmm. And then we went back upstairs and she was there. I could see, like, she was on top of me. I'm choking her for that. And she's yelling. They're blue. Both of them. Yeah. She took both of them at that. I freaked out in the same. Rage.
What's that? I'll share this with you, okay? Will you tell us what you told your dad?
She was in there with her. On top of her. Freaked out. I ran in there and got on top of her.
What'd you do?
She blew. Those are my babies. Those are my kids.
What happened?
Been hurt.
So Shanann?
I have no idea what's going on. I'm shaking. Both my kids are blue and they're gone. I feel horrible for what I did. I didn't know what to do.
Really now. Take the hard part. All you have left is to tell us where they're at.
You have to get them out of the cold. At that first location I went to that day. I don't know what to do.
I know.
I didn't know what to fucking do. Like, none of this made sense. Why would she hurt my fucking girls? I'm sorry. I know.
I know you are. I know you came in today to do the right thing. Where'd you put them? To get them out there?
In the truck.
Did Shanann fight back at all when you did that?
The rage that I had after seeing that, not much. I didn't know what else to do.
I know, so tell me what you did. I know.
I didn't know what else to do. I was so scared.
I know.
It's like, my wife just did this, and I just did that. What do I do?
Right.
You were in a tough spot, and I think, what can you do, right?
Sometimes your body just kind of takes over and...
What's going to happen?
We're going to help them get out of there. Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies, and you're still their dad.
And you don't want them out there.
I don't want them out there.
And you don't want someone else to find them out there. You don't, I promise you. You give us a second so we can kind of get some things arranged. Can you do that?
What the fuck is this? This is just fucking horrible. I've always said she was an unstable person, but I never thought that in a million years that could happen. She just lost it. So why did this happen to me? Well, why did this happen to those two little girls?
That's like gonna be on the news anytime soon, or is
No, not tonight. Whereabouts is Shanann and the girls?
Nach dem Gespräch mit seinem Vater fahren die Ermittler fort. Wo sind die Leichen? Chris nennt genaue Punkte im Ölfeld. Der Ermittler fragt, was ist mit Bella und Celeste? Chris antwortet mit zitternder Stimme, ich hab sie mit einem Lappen erstickt.
The S for Shanann. Okay. And where are the girls at?
Here.
In these?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you dig this out? I'm assuming that's under dirt. How did you dig that?
So I shovel in my truck and spill with it. So it sounds like, it feels like to me, now we know pretty well how to go get them. Is there anything else we need to know?
What do you think of that, Chris?
Let my family down. Let my dad down, let my mom, sister, nephew, nieces, friends, co-workers.
Can I ask you another tough question? You just get it all on the table. When you see Shanann choking, strangling Celeste, and you get her off of Celeste, did you think about calling an ambulance? How come?
I see you laying there blue and limp.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen something like that in my life. She just lay over, nothing she wasn't moving at all, no gasp of breath. She was totally just blue.
Back from information gathering to a confrontational nature.
So Chris, you're doing this job for a long time.
I know.
I know a lot about psychology and as far as what people are thinking. And most parents will never even want to fathom that their kid is dead. Even if their kid's stiff, blue in bed, stiff been dead all night, they still call an ambulance to see if someone can revive their child. And when the ambulance gets there, they're like, gosh, their kid's been dead all night, there's nothing we can do. And the parents are like, why are you not doing something? What are you talking about? So that's what we're used to. So that's why I want you to explain to me what was going on in your head and
the rage I felt for what she did. It just took over.
I would hate for Shanann to get a bad rap if she didn't have anything to do with it. It's not fair.
I know.
It's not fair. Enough bad stuff has happened. We need to stop the bad stuff from happening. So, you want to tell us the truth?
That is true.
So you're good with the public knowing that Shanann killed her daughters?
I did not hurt these girls.
Are you okay with the public knowing that Shanann?
Yes, because I did not hurt these girls. Chris, I'm not sure what to do.
Are you sure Shanann didn't catch you in Celeste?
No, my God, no. Don't get mad. But what it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life.
And I think that you killed these girls before their mom came home and then killed Shanann. And that's what we're kind of left, that's what we have to believe, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, to her point, if I walked in and my kid was decapitated, I'd call an ambulance, right? So
Knowing there's no hope.
it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So either you're this monster who says, I just want this young, hot girlfriend, so I'm going to kill everyone and hope it works out, or something. So I think we're very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster,
I'm not a monster.
so what's going to happen when their cause of death comes back to you for the girls?
It's not going to.
Okay. You sure?
I'm 100% positive it's not going to come back to me.
And what happens when a coroner looks and says, sees your fingerprints on their neck?
It's not going to be my fingerprints.
Okay. What's it going to be?
It's going to be Shanann's.
Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them?
I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Nothing was gonna, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what to do.
Scared of what?
Scared of what everything was gonna look like. My two babies were gone, and I just did that to my wife. And I was the only one left in the house. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah. It did look bad, right?
It looked, this was a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay.
Chris Watts beschreibt den Ablauf mit erschreckender Nüchternheit. Nachdem er Shanann erwürgt hat, setzt er seine beiden kleinen Töchter noch lebend ins Auto. Auf dem Weg zum Ölfeld fragen sie ihn, was mit ihrer Mutter sei. Seine Antwort: Mama ist krank. Am Ziel angekommen, tötet er zunächst Sisi mit einem Lappen, der ihr das Atmen unmöglich macht. Dann wendet er sich Bella zu, die Ältere. Verzweifelt, voller Angst, fragt sie: Papa, wirst du mit mir dasselbe machen wie mit Sisi? Und er tut es.
Yesterday when you were talking, and again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today, you mentioned that we were talking, you said, I don't know where they are, I don't know where they are, and then you said something along the lines of, whatever happened to them, this act of pure evil. What does that mean?
It's evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of Sisi. And then I felt evil for what I did to Shanann.
Okay. So after we look at their bodies, we're going to have a lot more questions. Things are going to be different then, but if you're willing, we'd love to talk to you then too. Now that we know what we know, we're going to, I need to check that you don't have any weapons on you or anything like that. Do you have any weapons on you? Okay. We'll do that. We'll go to the bathroom. I'm not going to go in the stall with you, but I'm going to go with you. And then we'll come right back here and we'll make a decision about how the rest of the night goes. All right, so you might stand it up so I can check.
He would have walked out of that police department as a free man for at least another night. Yet, after a prolonged state of isolation, anxiety, and fear, coupled with the cerebral influencing tactics of the interrogators, the alleviation of getting out of that situation was in that moment perceived as enough of a luxury to exchange his freedom for it.
Chris, come stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall. Lift up your hands.
Tja, meine Hase, das war der Fall Chris Watts. Ein Fall, der nur wirklich sehr schwer zu verarbeiten ist. Ich muss gestehen, bei einer der letzten Audios, die ich angesprochen habe, war das, was Sisi im Auto zu Chris gesagt hat. Das war richtig schwer für mich. Da habe ich echt fast an zu weinen gefangen. Ich finde das so schlimm. Ich als Mutter, dieser Gedanke einfach, wie kann man seine eigenen Kinder umbringen? Ich kann das einfach nicht nachvollziehen. Die Frechheit, die er dann auch noch hat, seiner eigenen toten Frau die Schuld in die Schuhe zu schieben, zu sagen, sie habe die Kinder ermordet. Das ist so eine Frechheit, sondergleichen. Der Mann, der darf nicht nur nie wieder aus dem Gefängnis rauskommen, der sollte wirklich hingerichtet werden. Dass der noch lebt, ist für mich ein Rätsel. Ja, eigentlich bin ich wirklich nicht für die Todesstrafe, ne? Aber es gibt manchmal so Hardcore-Fälle, da bleibt einfach gar keine andere Wahl. Der, der hat sein Leben verwirkt. Der hat 3 unschuldige Kinder umgebracht. Denn da war ja auch noch das Baby, Nico. Da gibt's gar keine Frage. Ja, hat mich echt aufgewühlt, dieser Fall, muss ich wirklich sagen. Wie seht ihr das? Lasst mir mal einen Kommentar da, was ihr darüber denkt. Schlaft gut, wenn ihr noch könnt.